Day 28 of 30-day challenge done, and yes, it's tough now. That was starting to break me down both physically and mentally and emotionally too. So I've got to that stage where I am finding out who the hell I am at times during this run. But there's probably three things that came up today. And the first one, I started listening to a podcast with a quite famous American motivational speaker, and he was talking about his life and how he sort of came to where he was and his hardships, and good story, like great story, really good story. But I got to about maybe 20, 30 minutes and I had to turn it off because I just couldn't put up with the bullshit, and the bullshit not as in his story or what he was saying or what happened to him, because that's amazing, but his facts were inconsistent. And so it made me wonder how much exaggeration was going into his story and how much he had created his own reality. And because it was a typical American stuff, it started to get over the top. So that made me angry. I was really angry with that. So I had to turn it off because that was impacting how I felt about running. So I felt my performance in my running starting to be impacted by the anger I had at this bullshit. So then I changed tact a little bit, and I started to think about the belief that I have in my ability to get through, the next 2 days, because I thought I knew I was going to get through the day and I'll get through the next 2 days. And I wondered how I actually had that, and I think it came from the fact that I put it out there. I thought one of the reasons why I've put these posts up is because I want to be accountable to anyone who looks at it, and whether they like it or not, or whether they turn off, I don't care. But the fact that I've put it out there puts pressure on me and holds me accountable to somebody else. So that was really important for me to say, okay, I can be accountable to myself, and ultimately that's all I want. But if I put it out there to other people and I say, I'm going to go and do this, and they got on board and they might say, good luck or whatever, then if I don't do it, I let them down. So there's an element of accountability to other people that I was aware of. And so I really have this belief that I will get through this, and I'll get through this because of the challenge I've set for myself. It's a personal challenge, but because I'm accountable to other people. And then the third thing was, I have a good mate of mine who I've caught up with and I've learned a fair bit off, and he's into public speaking, and he said to me, mate, why don't you put captions on your posts? And he's done very well using social media, especially LinkedIn, to get his message out, and he's been awesome at that. And I thought, yeah, good idea, I should do that. And then I started to think about it. I thought, no, if people want to read, buy a book, okay? If you want to hear about this personal challenge for me, then stop scrolling up the screen and unmute your account, which you've obviously done because you're listening to this. So good for you, well done, I like that. But I thought to myself, sometimes we try to make things too easy for people. We have to pave their way to goal. Screw that. Make them accountable. If they really want to do something, hold them accountable to it. And I think there's a couple of things that have happened recently, and part of it is the thinking in my runs, that I have become too easy. I've tried to become this new age coach, as I've been thinking at it from a coaching point of view, and I'm kidding myself. Like, I am who I am, and to try and be a different coach than what my values are ground into me, I'm lying to myself. Just like potentially that American motivational speaker is lying to himself when he exaggerates his stories. So it's been awesome. This is where I get to the point where I say, physically, my left knee is reminding me that I don't have any cartilage in it. It's red hot, quite tender. My mental state, I got angry listening to a guy on a podcast. Like, who gets angry listening to a guy on a podcast? But I did. So the mental side of me is sort of breaking down, and then that emotional side as well. So I'm sort of starting to think, who the hell am I? So this is awesome. Great little journey that I'm on right now. And only 2 days to go, and I'm really going to miss it when I stop doing it. So I may have to come up with another physical and mental challenge afterwards. But 2 days to go. I'm enjoying the challenge, the struggle, pushing through, but I'm also enjoying knowing that I have the confidence to do this. Have a cracking day. Enjoy your weekend. Chat soon. Cheers.